am Crolister, Master Opponent. Yes, this is my real voice, and if you have a problem with it, that's your own freaking fault. People can't help their voices. So, if you're into the gaming community, you're probably aware of how well this bad boy is doing in terms of sales. I was able to pre-order one before and got mine on the day it released, and the day later I set it up and got ready to go. And it just so happens after a half week later, it's already sold over 3.5 million units worldwide and has broken records with sales. It literally broke sales records for games as a whole, for game consoles as a whole, which is amazing. This could very well be the most successful game console ever until they make its successor after it, so yeah. This is like the PlayStation in a way all over again. So, since I have this and have gotten it all ready to go, Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack membership, all that on my own new Nintendo account that I made, I wanted to talk about this. So, as a successor to a previous console should go, it does have improvements compared to the Nintendo Switch original. The console itself is bigger, with a bigger screen, and has the same thickness, and lots of other details that were mentioned in the direct presentation. And there are a lot of different features that the console has from the Switch original and more that you can enable to take good care of it. So, you know. One new feature that they added was the ability to cut the battery charge to around 90%, which they say helps to preserve the durability of the battery at the cost of limiting your handheld play mode, which I would recommend doing if you want to keep it going for years on end, to be able to play the console for several years to come. And reduce the risk of frying the battery and making it unusable in handheld mode or at all. I had a situation like that happen with my 3DS, so I want to be more careful with my up-to-date console. While you're starting the console up, there is music in the menus that you have to go through to set it up. Though outside of it, there is no background music with the home menu or the eShop or anything like that. Although, the eShop does play videos while highlighting software titles while you're browsing, and they even play music for certain titles based on the games highlighted in the Nintendo Switch Online board. So, still no home menu themes other than the basic white and basic dark theme. Hopefully they'll add more at some point up ahead. So, the Nintendo eShop on the console has been significantly improved. As you can see, there's no wait with the loading screen. It just straight up goes to the eShop like that. They also improved the wish list significantly. You no longer have to remove titles manually, and it's straight up on the sidebar, and it'll even note if you have any games in it that are currently being on sale, which is nice. They also have a For You feature, which you can enable if you want to just be presented with a bunch of different games you might be interested in based on your browsing history and purchases, if you really want to get a new game for the console. With all the different features from the original Switch eShop without the loading lag. Amazing how with such a limited exclusive game lineup at the moment, because it's just brand new, how well this console is already selling. Where Nintendo games are concerned, the only ones that are for it right now are Mario Kart World and the Welcome Tour game, which is basically a tutorial game like they always do. There were some third-party games as well, like Street Fighter 6 and a few others. So, what's also interesting is that if you browse the Coming Soon page, it'll group the software by month, which makes it even more convenient. See, we're in July now. And if you highlight a certain game, it'll also play kind of a trailer for it as well, instead of just screenshots if it has a trailer. At the moment, there isn't a whole lot with Nintendo games that are coming out for the console that we know about at the moment, mostly third-party games. In July, we got Donkey Kong Bonanza, a new Donkey Kong game that some people are excited about as well, and the upgrade pack for Mario Party Jamboree as well. In August, we got the upgrade pack for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. September, it's just some third-party games for the moment. And in October, we got Pokemon Legends ZA. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond does not yet have a release date confirmation, nor does Kirby Air Riders. And there are even some Switch original games that are still coming out in the upcoming year as well, like Rhythm Heaven Groove and Tamagotchi Life. What was it? Living the Dream? The Tamagotchi Life game. Those are coming out next year, and for the Switch original. So. Alright, now, even though this is a great experience, and it is awesome to know that it has a much faster Wi-Fi and loading process on the eShop, it's still far from perfect, because, as Nintendo clarified before, there are some games that are not compatible with the successor, and it goes a little bit above and beyond what we originally expected. Nintendo Labo was destined to not be compatible with the console, and like I pointed out earlier, the right Joy-Con does not have the video camera on the bottom of it like the original Switch's one does, so those games can't be compatible as well. However, there are also some different games you wouldn't expect, and unfortunately for me, one of those games appeared to be Crash Bandicoot N Sane Trilogy. I have to question, why was that game omitted? Because it's just a regular Crash Bandicoot compilation of enhanced versions of his original PlayStation games. I went to update my wish list so I could work on recovering my game library with my new account I had to make, and the game is not available for purchase. So, yeah. I feel like it's over for the Crash Bandicoot franchise. I didn't like CB4. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel would have been better if the internet and it didn't suck, and if it didn't kick me out of the game at random while playing. So, yeah. That sucks. And a lot of subscription apps like Hulu and stuff like that are not available as well. Reportedly, YouTube is working on making a version of the app that will be compatible, so we should have YouTube on it eventually. I'll show you what I mean right now by, the Nintendo Switch Online board plays music. And I'll just play it for a little bit. Did you hear the drum intro to Splat-Tack from Splatoon? They played that while highlighting the icon for missions and rewards. I do have the expansion pack membership, which means I get to do the Nintendo 64 and GameCube apps. And they improved the Nintendo 64 app, so you can use the rewind and an optional screen filter. You can also personalize game controls. So that's convenient. Alright, some important notes about first getting the console. Upon starting up your console, you only get one chance to do the save data transfer from your Switch original if you have a compatible microSD Express card or just an account over your original Nintendo account over the internet. If you refuse to do the transfer, you can't get a chance to do it again later unless you hard reset the console. Unfortunately, I had to ditch my old family email due to issues with it not letting us log in. So I started a brand new Nintendo account on my own email that I made to start this YouTube channel and my DeviantArt. So I'll be better at keeping notes on that from there myself. In order to use the online features on this console or an original Switch, you will need to sign up for a Nintendo account, which does require you to use a computer or smartphone and do it over the official Nintendo website. If you go to create a new account from the console, you should receive an email that'll include a link that'll take you directly to where you need to go to create your account, and you can just follow the instructions from there and then claim the 5 numeric digit code to link your account to your console so that you can use it. They even added brand new user icons that weren't on the Switch Original's default lineup before. Although I'm not sure if you can see it or not. There, that looks more clear. I got Pikachu as my icon, and this did not come from missions and rewards. They had Pokemon icons available on the console by default that you can use straight away. They got Pikachu, they got Eevee, they got all of the unevolved starter Pokemon from Gen 1 to Gen 9, and they have a Pokeball. They also added Fire Emblem characters for anybody that likes Fire Emblem as well. So, yeah. The console's controllers attach magnetically and are pretty easy to remove. You just pull on the triggers on the back, and they go in with ease as well. Hopefully, the sensors for attaching the console's controllers work a lot better in the end than the Switch Originals, because my original Switch had a problem with attaching and detaching its Joy-Cons. And it was also problematic with USB chargers, and it was moderately a mess for me. So hopefully I'll have better luck with this console and that it'll be a bit more durable, like it should be. Like it's rumored to be as well. And I swear, if my Joy-Cons ever get drift on this console, I'm gonna be ticked. Same as with everyone else. I have heard that the analog sticks are more stable in it, though they're not made from the technology that Golden Kid Hall thumbsticks are. So, the console and the controllers also have pretty short battery life, so I would advise making sure you keep your controllers and console charged regularly while trying not to overcharge them. That's one of the reasons why I need to get a Pro controller for that console, which I will eventually, as I did with my original Switch. The fact that the Pro controller also has an audio jack for headphones or earbuds, and those GL and GR buttons, which I'm still not sure what they do, is pretty neat as well. So, I'll look forward to using that as well. Of course, I got the edition of the bundle that had Mario Kart World, which, is an extremely unique Mario Kart game with a free roam mode and an open world environment. It's really fun to mess around with. And it also seems to be more challenging than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is. I will agree, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was a little easy. I handled the top level in Grand Prix mode with relative ease, as I played on my YouTube channel before, so. This game, though, the CPUs are a lot smarter and more persistent, I feel like. So, it's good to know that Nintendo listened to people that complained about their games being too easy, in a way. Challenging games can occasionally be fun, especially if you're a hardcore gamer like I'm not, though I do enjoy a challenge once in a while. So, since I have a few games from my Switch that I had as a game card, I will be able to play some of the games that I had in my Switch original on it already. Some, not all, of the games that I have as game cards. I got Spyro Reignited Trilogy, which I should be able to play. It let me download the update data. One button. I got ARMS, which got a free improvement on the console, so I'll be playing that for sure. Mega Man 11, Metroid Dread, Pac-Man Museum Plus, Pokemon Legends Arceus, um, Pac-Man World Re-Pac, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and a few others, like the Pokemon main games and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which I am not willing to play again at all, unless it gets an upgrade pack later. I already hazed that game earlier, and of course, people didn't take me seriously. I still think Super Smash Bros. Getting an actual new game would be the best possible method, because they need to update some of the existing characters, and a lot of people want characters in the game that are currently assist trophies, like Waluigi and Isaac from Golden Sun. They'd have to make a new game for those characters to get in. And I'll take roster cuts for sure, so, you know. And I have just a few other games as well that I'm not as willing to play again, so. Just to show you what kinds of games that I currently have. I bought the Mega Man Legacy collections for the classic Mega Man series immediately because those games were on sale. And I'm gonna get Nebula's Ray, which is a more recent Arcade Archives game by Namco, being that I'm the resident Namco arcade lover. That I didn't buy for my Switch original because it was priced at $15 instead of $8. And they're going to do that with games more often moving forward. That's also how they price Ridge Racer, and that goes for the original Switch version of that game. So, I'm gonna have to get used to later Arcade Archives games being a bit more costly, especially where Namco is concerned. It'll be worth it though, because Namco are far and away the best for arcade games in my opinion. And I really want the classic collections to come to the lineup as well, so I can play the arrangement games. Those games are amazing. Alright, so I have quite a lot of progression to make up from my original Switch onto this new console, so. Yeah. I am very pleased to see that this console broke records with its sales, and could possibly lead on to being one of the best selling consoles, possibly the best selling console ever, period, in the history of the world, and even go on to be one of the most successful by reception as well. In addition to the eShop, some games also load a lot faster than they do on the Switch original. I noticed that with Pac-Man World Re-Pac, which I didn't even realize had a music player as downloadable content, so I got that as well. And, you know, it's a more powerful console. It's very unfortunate that I can't play Crash Bandicoot N Sane Trilogy again, because I loved Crash Bandicoot Warped. So, that's one game I will not be able to recover, and will have to go back to my original Switch for if I wanted to play that. Sucks. Oh well, it is what it is. You can't expect any game console to be perfect. Same with all else in life. I am enjoying the experience a lot, though. Mario Kart World is fun. Great to mess around with. The games load a lot faster. The Wi-Fi seems to be better. The Nintendo 64 app has been significantly improved with some features. They have a GameCube app now, even though it only has 3 games on it, with more to come, of course. Just at the moment. And I have a feeling that casual gamers are really going to love this console. It's not another situation like the Wii to the Wii U. This is being serious with the transition and the start of a new generation. So for another 6 to 8 years, we will be on the successor to the Switch, the second of the family. And then after that, they'll probably go on to make a Nintendo Switch 3 and onwards. Just like Sony does with the PlayStation. That's what I personally think. Alright, so, for those of you that were able to get this console within this range, I hope you enjoy it, because I am so far, despite short battery life. And I'll be looking forward to seeing what kinds of games come out for it up ahead. It's gonna be an amazing one. Alright, so that's my overview video with the console. I am not spoiling any unlockable content or plot about Mario Kart World, because that could lead to issues. I'll wait a month or so after that before I do so. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about my experience. This was a more simple video format than usual. I usually do a slideshow with my own fan art or play a game. This is just a regular facecam video. So, consider subscribing if you like some of the franchises that I like. Namco Arcade, Pokemon, Mega Man, Spyro the Dragon, Super Smash Bros., Classic Metroid. I can do Kirby as well. I can do older Mario. Some games that might catch my attention on the Nintendo Classics apps. And also consider following me if you like my freehand drawing art style, because I make a lot of fan art of different characters on my DeviantArt, and am trying to make a freehand drawing character video weekly, highlighting the Smash series in particular. So, to tell you the truth, I have quite a lot going on for my channel. That is going to wrap up this video, though. I am Colister, Master of Ponage. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys very soon. Happy switching.